If Southwest is not careful, they will end up like black South Africans. I repeat, if Yorubas in the Southwest, if they are not careful, they will end up like black South Africans. Now, currently in South Africa, the whites wants to divide the country. Yes, the whites in South Africa wants to divide the country and create their own country called Cape Town. Now, this question comes to mind. If they ask you, who are the owners of South Africa? You answer the blacks. But the truth here is that whites control South Africa. The economy of South Africa is controlled by the whites. Land, over 70% of land in South Africa is being owned by the whites. The means of production, companies, agencies, banks, being owned by the whites. Whites control the economy of South Africa. So literally, the blacks are slaves to the whites in South Africa. Now, what is the population of whites in South Africa compared to that of blacks? The irony here is that even black South Africans hate their fellow black Africans. Instead, there is this movement called Dudula in South Africa, whereby they go and chase away illegal migrants or people that are foreigners that have come to take their jobs and take their whatever. They will go to your shop, they will loot your shop. They will not allow you to use public hospitals because you are a black. But the whites that have taken over the means of production, that have impoverished them, that have put them in the condition that they are, these Dudula people cannot go and challenge the white people. The whites are saying that we don't want blacks in Cape Town. There's another city in South Africa. I think it's Oraina. That city is an all-white city. A black person cannot just enter that city anyhow. Now, how do I mean by Southwest will regret? Like what the blacks are regretting now if they don't take time. If Tinubu does not restructure Nigeria, a lot of things are happening. You cannot underestimate these politicians. You think, I've told you before, you think that these people, they care about you. In South Africa today, where were their professors, the black professors? Ramaphosa, the president, there's a protest against Ramaphosa, the president, that Cape Town must not be created. When you appoint leaders that are puppets to the West, these are the things that can happen. Look at Israel in Gaza today. With all Israel is doing, the bombings and everything, US don't open their mouth, say, Israel, stop. Israel is carrying out genocide on other people, and the US just fold their hands and they look at them. If you're a puppet to the West, they will use you for breakfast. Look at how whites have developed South Africa, and they have been there for a long time. Foreigners, though, foreigners. But they are claiming land. The foreigners, the same foreigners, the blacks that own the land, they don't own up to 30% of their own land. And they are like more than 60 million people. While the whites are like 7 to 8 million people. 7 to 8 million people, they are owning the land of 60 to something million people. And those ones are white, the other ones are blacks. Now the blacks cannot challenge the whites and take the land away from them. But instead, they go to shop their fellow African shops. Xenophobic attacks was carried out by South Africa. South Africa hates their fellow black South Africans, hate their fellow blacks. Now, the people that employ other African migrants are the whites, because the whites are the ones that own these companies. They own the means of production. They are in charge of the economy. So the blacks that are lazy, most of these South Africans are very lazy, very unenterprising, very anyhow. So these whites would not want to employ them because they are not showing character to work. But blacks that come from other African countries come into South Africa and they are employed by these whites. Now the blacks are angry that these guys are taking their jobs. Wow, you are qualified and you have shown character to work, that they have not employed you. So there's a Dudula movement, chase away black immigrants. While the people that have taken over your land, the means of production, taken over everything, made you paupers. You cannot stand before a white man, but your fellow black person, you are bullying your fellow black people. I just look at most of these guys. There's something wrong with the black man, and we are so foolish in exposing our stupidity and foolishness. We are so loud, we are so proud exposing our stupidity, as Africans, especially South Africa, one of the most, I don't know what to say. Now the whites are taking away a sizable part of the country out of South Africa. And that Cape Town, you see, they have a port. Very, very important when it comes to international trade. They are going to cover that place. If you know what that port will give to that Cape, the white South Africans, the Afrikaners, that's what they are called. They are strangers, they are foreigners in the land. They were understood that they can control, they can mentally, most of them are Israelis. Even the person that proposed this Cape Town was a UK person. That person is from UK. Said Cape Town should be a country on its own. When you tell people that, for instance, now we are talking about Biafra agitation, and some people say it's not possible. You go see how Oyibo go run their own package for your eyes, it go clear for you. You see how Israel is trying to take over Gaza. They go take over Gaza by force. And you say Africans, they don't believe that things can be possible in their time. Why the Oyibo will start doing wonders? The blacks are threatening civil war in South Africa. My question is, you as a black, how would you be able to fight the white man who has all the weapons, who has everything, they're in control of everything? Come back to Nigeria. Look at Lagos State, for example. The Lekki Free Trade Zone, from Third Mainland Bridge, because people that always hail the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, let me repeat it again. If Tinubu does not restructure Nigeria, he's an enemy to the Yorubas. If Tinubu does not restructure Nigeria, he is an enemy to the Yorubas. For instance, from the island to Lekki Free Trade Zone, how many Yorubas own properties? How many Yorubas own properties? Now, the real Lagos is that island, not even from the mainland. The mainland is Ogun State. The real Lagos is island. And most Yorubas cannot claim to have, Yorubas in general cannot claim to have over 30% of the land in the island. If you think you can predict Nigerian politicians, they can sell you as your forefathers sold slaves. If Tinubu does not destroy his country, you will see that even the US embassy that they are building in Lekki Free Trade Zone, most of the companies there are controlled by the whites. Most of the things, the working... See, Lagos economy is functioning because of foreign influence. If you like it, if you don't like it. Nigeria's economy is functioning because of foreign influence. That's how they can influence your elections. That is why every presidential candidate will go to UK and start doing debate. So if the Yorubas do not take their time, I have said it that your problem is not Yoruba and Igbo, but you don't want to listen. I'm not begging you for your bigotry. Hatred is in you. If you want to keep on hating, that one is your own. Protecting your heritage is very understandable, but that will not get to an extent whereby we want to finish off ourselves because you must disagree, because that is the nature of human beings. You must disagree. It is high time that we come together as Southerners, because if Tinubu does not restructure Nigeria and these Northerners take over power, you think that they cannot run Lagos the way they are going to run? You think that these guys cannot collaborate to make sure they make... The Yorubas are saying that, like I did something, a broadcast one time. I said Yorubas will be the first. If somebody is going to leave Nigeria, the Yorubas will be the first, because they are strategically positioned to leave Nigeria. They are well equipped to leave Nigeria. Any which way you want them, they are well equipped to leave Nigeria. They have their seaport, they have oil, they have arable land, they have everything. Industries, they have connections, everything. Even the Lagos Island, the Oyibos, they could enter from there. That's their abode now. That Lekki Free Trade Zone, that place where Dangote cement dey. Have you gone to that place and see what is being built? The massive thing that is going on there. And if you don't destroy this country, the Oyibos will influence until they create that place. They can create that place as a colony of their own. In today's world, look at what is happening in South Africa. It's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. Now, an average Nigerian cannot afford anything basic. It is only the elite that can afford life and luxury. Our forefathers, as poor as they were building houses. But you, with your 10 million naira, only 10 million naira in your account, you cannot go far. You cannot do anything. cannot build a house. 10 million in your account. Which house won't build? Okay, you go build the one-room self-contained. That is what our forefathers built. They have made sure that Nigerians are paupers to the extent that Nigerians, there's nothing. An average young person cannot boast for anything. But when you go to all these places, Oyibo don't buy. They don't take it. Companies don't buy. They impoverish Nigerians. Go to Dangote refinery. Now Oyibo, they run the package. Even our petroleum, we will not run. We they seek for foreign professionals to come and join us to resuscitate Port Harcourt refinery, Kaduna refinery, and other refineries. The people that are controlling our economy, we just be bookworm. Just be bookworm now. You go sit there and you go stand for office. The people that are pulling the strings are Oyibos, are your colonial masters. And when the time is right, when the time is right, they will be able to see that portion of Lekki Free Trade Zone. As an average Yoruba person, go there now. Average, I mean average. Most people that go there, they go there and work. You hear say plot of land are billions of naira. How many Nigerians? The percentage of Nigerians that have 500,000 in their account, what is the percentage? How many of you can afford lands there? But these politicians, they will do all they can, mago lie and everything. They will do wuru. They will go acquire lands, sell to their friends, sell to their. You see that Tinubu businessman colleague, whether they run the Lekki Trade Zone. Is it Chagori or Haba Chagori? You see a lot of international moves being done by the president. You think he's doing it? Most of the time, they are doing it for their personal reasons. Most of the time. Because most of this movement, at the end of the day, if it does not bring down the rise of average commodity for an average Nigerian, there's no need. There's nothing you are doing. If your movements are not benefiting Nigeria, there's nothing you are doing. Now look at black South Africans now. Who will fight for black South Africa? Other African countries are supporting Cape Town. My question is, if the whites say, okay, today we are coming out of Cape Town, what will the blacks do? That's the question. The reason why South Africa is developed now, the whites, not the black. The black are inconsequential when it comes to driving South Africa. All those names South Africa get, all those MT and all those multi-choice. Whites, now them they drive that thing. And the whites have seen like maybe these black people, they are parasite. Let's just form our own country and push them aside. The same black people. You see, that's why I say mentality are showing bigotry to their own fellow black. I've told you that those people that are pushing bigotry, there are so many things they don't understand. They just understand hatred. I was watching a video. Some women gathered a man. I think it's that Dudula movement. They gathered a man. You're an immigrant. What right do you have to own shop here? What? See, they were asking if they wanted to. I saw a video where they were looting their shops. South Africa will just enter, loot shop. Because the people came into the country, they show character and they are working hard and they get jobs. Why you South Africans lazy? I know of an Igbo man who has a shop, employed a South African. 1 or 2, 3 days, they stop work. If they see little money, they stop work. Because of their laziness. And the whites have seen it. That is why they can't compete with the white because of their mentality. Is it not the same schools they are going? It's not. What education are they getting? That is why when I look at Nigeria, I look at our curriculum. I look at all these British Ivy schools in Lagos. I look at their curriculum. Different. The system is different. They run different. That's why most of the people that get best are from this school. You see schools like Caleb International, Tulip colleges all over the country. These are people that have a different curriculum than what the masses are using. And with particular to Southwest, you think that if you don't fight for restructuring now, whereby you have a regional system of government, whereby the indigenous people of that region will take over the governance, if you don't fight for it now, there will be a template whereby that Lagos will be taken away. And the economy will be developed and controlled by the whites. Nigeria is being controlled by the whites. That is the fact. Whether you believe it or not, look at it critically. See, sit down, close your eyes, and imagine. None of our refineries can work without the Oyibo man. Most of the people that invested in our oil sector, they are the Oyibos. You go see, say, Nigerians. Now, you know, say, for instance, let's look at KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. The Kentucky Fried Chicken, it's a Nigerian that will own it, but the franchise is from Oyibo. So the Nigerian man will use Oyibo name, they deal for Nigeria. When it comes to repairing refinery, Nigerian engineers don't repair, or guarantee no they profitable. If they work, you know they profitable. Ajakuta still, if they work, you know they profitable. Who helped us build Ajakuta? Is not the Russians. Our critical, Julius Berger and everybody, our critical infrastructures, who helped us build that? Nobody Oyibo. Our railway, street, what? Nobody Oyibo. Have you gone to the site whereby the Oyibos will come? They use their technology, they use different Nigerian men, they put them on the labor force, use them, do German. Now them see the control. You see, most of the loans we are collecting, you think the loans now for today, tomorrow? The loans we are selling ourselves. With all the subsidies that have gone, the government of the day, whether governor or president or whoever, they have not shown any tangible. It's just promise. We are promising 70,000 minimum wage. We are promising 100,000 minimum wage. Who is asking you to give us 100,000 minimum wage that Imo State government is giving to his civil servant? How many are civil servants in the state that cannot even pay 250, 300? You are coming to bamboozle us with 100. Let them be clapping for you because you're APC. Using everything you play politics with it. So what is it? See, it pains me when our people don't really understand that these politicians, they don't mean well for you. If you think that it's Yoruba thing, you will lose Lagos very soon. Not to the Igbos, because Igbos don't even get waiting they concern them. They never finish their own place. Finish. They can't like what the Igbos are doing. Sit down very well and check it. Most people are selling their houses. You see, even on the mainland, most people are selling their houses. They are going to Ogun State because they cannot keep up. Companies owned by Oyibos and everything, they are buying up. Affiliation. Now Oyibos still get up. Very soon now, they will not concentrate on coming to that place and controlling the means of production. You go sit down there, they look. Maybe South Africans then did there. They create one country, or is it or something like that, that even blacks cannot enter. Now it is good for black South Africa, because they have shown hatred to their fellow brothers in Africa. And we pray that the whites, they are able to achieve that Cape Town, so that, let me see what the blacks can do. Let me see. They will have their country. Somebody, an activist said that he's not a South African, a black South African, that he's not worried that the whites want to have their own country, but that the whites would not be controlling the means of production while they have their own country. They will limit it to Cape Town. Cape Town has seaport. Lagos has seaport. Cape Town is very, very industrialized. Lagos is very, very industrialized. Watch. You see that terminal bridge, that movement. They go cellular. They will take that your Lagos, whatever. Nigeria, Dangote refinery do. Your politicians now caretaker, all of them are caretaker. You go think say we don't know till they talk. Now caretaker them bio. These ones they don't send you. The whites, the professors and everybody that went to school, they did for South Africa, where somebody from UK coming to South Africa since 2004, and he's saying that these whites need to have their own country in South Africa, black land, because they have seen, just like the Fulani will come one place, normal human being, your friend and everything, be laughing with you. When they have an opportunity to gain ground, when they gain ground, they will now show you their true color. So the whites have gained ground. You don't want what it means that a few less than 10 million persons are owning land that almost 65 million people are staying. Do you know what it is? They own the means of production, the companies, the agencies, everything, industry, everything. The banks, mortgages, they own it, the whites. Even you see your MTN and all these multi-choice, all these things that come from, mostly the whites are the ones that own. You see blacks everywhere. They employ them, the real owners know where they know they show their face. And this is happening. It is good for South Africa because their hatred for their fellow blacks will have consumed them. And we continue to consume them. You see, you kill your fellow blacks, you loot their shops, carry out jungle justice on them, but you forget that there's a white man that has impoverished you, that that impoverished Nelson Mandela, that stayed in prison for 26 years, the same white people. You cannot stand up to them. Julius Malema said something, kill the Boer, take over the land. There was a movement for that. But these Dudula people, Gongola people, you don't know where you're coming from. You don't know where you're going. You are just being consumed by hate. That's why I said anybody that is a bigot is just consumed by hate. You can be a conservationist and not a bigot. Somebody is saying that Awolowo did a wonderful job. 3 million Igbo people were blah blah blah, and some people are saying that Awolowo drank poison and died. Is that one? Is that one conservatism? There's no humanity in your statement. So if we have people that are pushing for bigotry in the Southwest, Igbo, and we say that is not the way, and they say that is the way, let them continue. When it's time, when Tinubu does not restructure Nigeria, when it's time for people who owns the land come for the land, you go speak baby grammar from land tomorrow. Your grammar will not save you. You go speak in tongue from night tomorrow. It will not save you. These people will take over your means of production as they have done. They will control your everyday life. And if Southwest now, which like the black South Africans, they believe that they are better than every other person in Africa, they are better than everybody. The same way the Southwest now is saying that they are better, they are the best region, that and that. No. Your alliance in Southern Nigeria is very important and very needed. You need to play a very big role, because if we don't restructure this country, my brother, we are in soup. I'm telling you, if they conquer the Southwest, they have conquered Southern Nigeria now. If they conquer the economic clubhouse of Nigeria, they have conquered a lot of things. The last time I went to that Lekki Free Trade Zone, I looked. And I said, now the same Nigeria would they. Some people are defending APC, PDP, Labour Party from now to tomorrow. They don't have a certificate of occupancy to their name. A deed title, they don't have it to their name. They're just there. It is good for South Africa, black South African. And also is a reference point to the southwest Nigeria. If they want to still toe the path of the black South Africans, they can continue. It's just a matter of time. May God help Nigerians.